Can Zhen Huan, blessed with both beauty and talent, truly outshine all in the imperial harem and enjoy everlasting favor? Remembering Mei Zhuang's craving for sour plum soup and the prescription said to aid in conception, I was filled with uncertainty. Mei Zhuang herself seemed equally baffled and excited. I took her hand and asked eagerly, Sister Hui, could it really be true? Mei Zhuang, embarrassed and unsure of how to respond, gently pulled her hand away and whispered, I don't know. Consort Xen blurted out impatiently, How can you be so careless, not even knowing whether you're pregnant? Consort K gently chided her, saying softly, It's understandable for Consort Hui, being young and inexperienced, to not know. Chao Ronghua with a serious look asked, Have you had your menstrual period this month? Under everyone's gaze, Mei Zhuang blushed and hesitated to answer. Impatient as ever, Consort Xen pressed, What's there to be embarrassed about? We're all sisters here. Just tell us. Mei Zhuang had no choice but to shake her head, her voice as faint as a mosquito's. It's been delayed for over half a month. Chao Ronghua helped her to sit properly, saying, This is almost certainly a pregnancy. She looked to Consort K for confirmation. Consort K, don't you think? Consort K asked slowly, Apart from feeling nauseous, have you felt lethargic, unwilling to move, or had cravings for sour or spicy food?
Mei Zhuang nodded.
Consort Xen clapped her hands. That's definitely a sign of pregnancy. Realizing her own excitement, she lowered her voice and mumbled, I felt the same when I was pregnant with Princess Shu He. The three of them, having been the only consorts in the palace to bear children, gave Mei Zhuang such assurance that she couldn't contain her joy, gripping my hand with tears of happiness welling up in her eyes.
Ikaut consort ka silen smirk.
No wonder she seemed displeased. Until now, she was the only one to have borne a son, holding a unique position despite not being favored by the emperor. If by some slim chance no other princes were born, her son still had a slim hope for the throne. But Mei Zhuang's sudden pregnancy, especially if it resulted in a prince, would further diminish her son's significance in Emperor Xianling's eyes, making his position even more precarious. Chao Ronghua, having borne a princess, didn't seem too concerned and quickly made arrangements for Mei Zhuang to rest in the inner chamber, calling for the imperial physician. The physician's prompt arrival and confirmation of the pregnancy caused a flurry of activity as messengers were sent to inform the emperor and the empress, and instructions were given to Mei Zhuang's personal maids, Bai Ling and Kaiyu, on how to care for a pregnant woman. The sudden joyous news turned the pavilion into a scene of happy chaos. That night, Emperor Xianling was supposed to rest at Consort Qin's quarters, and the empress was about to retire for the night. The urgent news prompted immediate actions, instructing Mei Zhuang to stay in bed while hurriedly making their way to Chao Ronghua's Yanyu pavilion. Mei Zhuang lay comfortably on Chao Ronghua's couch, covered with the softest silk quilt, her joy mixed with a bit of anxiety. I stayed by her side to comfort her, feeling an unsettling sense that something about the night's events was amiss, yet unable to pinpoint what it was. My thoughts were a tangled mess, trying hard to make sense of it all. Observing the imperial physician busily scribbling prescriptions at the table, I commented, This physician seems unfamiliar, as if I haven't seen him before. He quickly stood up, adjusting his robes, and replied, I only joined the Imperial Medical Bureau last month. Ah, I raised an eyebrow. May I ask where you served before? I am Lu Feng, originally from Jizhou. Before joining the Imperial Medical Bureau, I ran a medical clinic in Jizhou, dedicated to serving the people. Oh, Mei Zhuang laughed. It turns out we're fellow townspeople. Dr. Lu, you have a good pulse. Your Highness flatters me, I am unworthy, he responded humbly. As we were speaking, the Emperor and the Empress arrived. Emperor Xianling was both surprised and delighted. Now 26, he had few royal offspring, especially sons, so this news was particularly joyous. He leaned over to Mei Zhuang and asked, Consort Hui, is it true? After inquiring a few questions to Chao Ronghua, the Empress asked Mei Zhuang, Can we be certain you are truly pregnant? Mei Zhuang, blushing, replied softly, Considering that Consort K, Consort Xen, and Consort Chao have all experienced childbirth, their opinion probably holds true. The Empress quietly instructed a maid, who soon returned with a gold-embellished scarlet ledger, known as the Tong History. After flipping through a few pages and revealing a smile, She passed the ledger to Emperor Xianling. With just a glance, his face brightened. It's been over half a month. The Empress then called out, "Where are Consort Hui's personal maids? Bring them here." Kai Yu and Bai Ling, who were waiting outside, hurried in upon being summoned. The Empress instructed them to rise and, acknowledging the gravity of the situation involving a royal offspring, spoke with a blend of kindness and concern. "You two are Consort Hui's closest attendants. Now that she is with child, you must be even more cautious in caring for her. You must report her daily diet and routine to me." Bai Ling and Kai Yu promptly agreed. Emperor Xianling sat beside the bed, holding Mei Zhuang's hand and whispering tenderly. The candlelight flickered, casting a soft, happy glow on Mei Zhuang's radiant, joyful face. The Empress stated, "Consort Hui's pregnancy is a significant event in the palace and must be carefully managed. In the Imperial Medical Bureau, Zhang Muyang is the foremost expert in gynecology, having attended to the pregnancies of the 3 consorts here. He is the right choice." Consort Xian interjected. "Imperial physician Jiang is currently observing mourning for a family member and is unavailable." Mei Zhuang frowned slightly, then smiled and suggested, "The physician who examined me earlier, Lu Feng from the Imperial Medical Bureau, seemed competent. We are from the same hometown, so I'd be comfortable with him overseeing my care." The Empress agreed. "That's a good arrangement. You are only a little over a month pregnant, so everything must be handled with great care to avoid any complications." She then turned to me. "Zhenwani, you and Consort Hui are close as sisters. Ensure she is well looked after." Mei Zhuang and I listened respectfully to her instructions. Chao Ronghua let out a light laugh and said, "I've been neglectful. The Emperor and Empress have been here for quite some time, and I haven't even offered a cup of tea, getting carried away with the excitement. I hope your majesties will forgive me." Emperor Xianling, in a particularly good mood, replied, "I was just feeling a bit thirsty." He then asked Mei Zhuang, "Consort Hui, what would you like?" Mei Zhuang quickly said, "Please decide, your majesty." Emperor Xianling responded, "You're with child now, no need for such formalities with me." After some thought, Mei Zhuang said, "I accidentally spilled the plum soup earlier, and now I find myself craving it." Chao Ronghua smiled and said, "There's plenty of plum soup. If you like it, I can have it sent to your quarters every day." Consort Xian gave a mocking laugh. "How virtuous and kind of you, Consort Chao." Chao Ronghua smiled awkwardly and was about to instruct a maid to bring some plum soup when Emperor Xianling interjected, "Zhenwani doesn't like sour things. Add more sugar to her plum soup." The sudden news of Mei Zhuang's pregnancy had already soured the mood of Consort K and Consort Xian. Emperor Xianling's comment only added fuel to the fire, and the jealous gazes from the others landed on me, making me uncomfortable. Mei Zhuang, sensing this, reassuringly squeezed my hand. I understood that they wouldn't dare vent their frustration on Mei Zhuang, who was now pregnant, leaving me as their target. I managed a grateful smile and stood up, saying, "Thank you for your concern, your majesty." The next day, I went to visit Mei Zhuang early in the morning, just as the chief eunuch from the Department of Royal Affairs, Su Jinliang, arrived with a decree. Mei Zhuang was promoted to a full 4th-rank noble consort, which put her above me. She was also bestowed with a variety of treasures, including gold, pearls, antiques, silk, and clothes. Mei Zhuang was overjoyed, having been blessed with a child and receiving such favor from the emperor. It was a time for family joy and gratitude. After expressing her gratitude for the imperial grace, Mei Zhuang generously rewarded Su Jinliang before taking my hand to sit down in the inner chamber. Pointing to the pomegranate and grape rosy cloud gauze installed the other day, I teased, "Your dream has come true. How will you thank me?" Mei Zhuang replied, "I should indeed thank you properly. Whatever you wish for, as long as I can provide it, I will." I gently placed my hand over her belly and said with a smile, "I've taken a liking to the little one inside. When will you let me be their godmother?" Mei Zhuang couldn't help but laugh. "Look at you, so eager for someone to call you mother. We don't even know if it's a boy or a girl yet." I laughed and said, "Boy or girl, I welcome all. I just hope it's a boy. That way, I'll have a solid support for life. Boy or girl, it's all good. Seeing how the emperor dotes on you now, he'll cherish your child regardless of their gender. I wouldn't be surprised if you receive another promotion before your confinement period is over." I rested my chin on my hand, smiling. Let me think. What title might the emperor grant you? Noble consort, perhaps? If it's a prince, you might even be made empress, standing shoulder to shoulder with consort Huan, consort Huan, and consort Quebec. Mei Zhuang laughed and covered my mouth. You're getting ahead of yourself. Don't spout nonsense. I couldn't stop laughing. Here I am, congratulating you early, and you're already acting like a moody expectant mother without even showing yet. After a bit of jesting, Mei Zhuang said, the emperor summons you almost 10 days each month. By that count, you should be expecting by now. I replied, somewhat embarrassed. What can be done? It's all up to fate, Mei Zhuang said. Look at me, it seems fate was on my side. That prescription really worked. Here, you take it. I bit my lip and confessed. To tell you the truth, I'm worried that the medicine you sure gave me that day might have damaged my health, making it difficult for me to conceive. Mei Zhuang gasped in shock, taking a moment to respond. Is that really possible? Have you had a physician examine you? I shook my head, feeling downhearted. The physicians haven't said as much, but I'm certain the medicine harmed me. It's just a suspicion of mine. Mei Zhuang let out a sigh of relief. You're still young, and so is the emperor. With time and care, your health will improve. She then leaned in and whispered, when the emperor visits your chamber, remember to prop your waist up a bit. It helps with conception. I was taken aback, my face flushing with embarrassment, my heart racing. Where did you hear such nonsense? Mei Zhuang couldn't help but laugh at my reaction. An old palace maid who serves me told me. They've been in the palace for so long. They know all there is to know. Changing the subject to ease my embarrassment, I asked, it's quite warm. Do you have anything to cool off with? Mei Zhuang said. Kai Yu and the others made some iced tremella soup. It's quite refreshing. You should try some. I nodded. That's fine for me. But you, being pregnant, shouldn't indulge in too many cold things. I'll have Jean, she make some pastries for you instead. Mei Zhuang replied. I really can't eat much right now, it'd just go to waste. After a moment of thought, she added, I remembered something important just now, completely slipped my mind. It's just as well to mention it now, it's important. Curious, I asked. What could possibly be more pressing than your pregnancy right now? Mei Zhuang lowered her voice. Now that I'm pregnant, it might be difficult for me to think and work as much. Although Consort Hua has fallen out of favor, there's no guarantee she won't make a comeback. You might find it challenging to handle everything alone. Moreover, from what I've observed, our emperor isn't one to favor only one person. With my pregnancy, I'll likely be unable to serve him in bed soon, which might just give others the opportunity to take advantage. You mean to say? Ling Rong's beauty is on par with Chao Ronghua and Qin Fangyi. Is she really to remain unfavored all her life? I expressed my concern. It's tricky with Ling Rong. It seems she has no intention of seeking favor. Mei Zhuang nodded slightly. I know that too. I wonder why she insists on saying that her background isn't prominent enough to expect any royal favor, considering it fortunate enough just to be in the palace. But one's family background isn't always crucial. Wasn't it the same with you sure before? If that's her wish, we shouldn't force her. Let it be. Whether she seeks favor or not is one thing, but let's have her come to Taiping Palace first. We'll have an extra pair of hands, so we won't be caught off guard if anything unexpected happens. Mei Zhuang paused. I'll find a way to discuss this with the emperor soon, and I don't think he'll refuse. Now that you're the emperor's favorite, naturally, he'll grant whatever you ask. I offered a reassuring smile. In any case, you still have me. Worrying and planning too much might wear you out. It's crucial for you to focus on your health and the baby.
Follow us to avoid getting lost and enjoy endless exciting stories. For more content, please go to the Story Wall homepage to view more exciting novels.